Okay, everyone, looks like we're now live. Please proceed. Okay, everyone.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the first Friday in May. That means it is the May Mountain Community Capital Fund Operating Committee monthly meeting. Great to have you with us. We have a pretty light agenda today. Before we get into our first agenda item, which is approval of the minutes, I'll tell you what I'll do, actually. I'll put this in the chat in case anyone is looking for the link to the agenda. Before we get into our first agenda item, I would like to do a roll call, just going around the folks who I see on screen and the names in the people tab here in Google Meet. And when I say your name, if you could say who you are, what you represent, if you're a city or county appointee or one of our lenders, and if you are a voting member. And if you don't remember, we'll be happy to remind you if you are or not. So I'll go first. I'm Jeffrey Kaplan. I'm the chairman of this committee, a county appointee, and a voting member. Next, I'm going to go straight down what I see here on my list. So there's no particular order. Next is Angelica Driver.
Good morning. I'm Angelica Driver, the City of Asheville's Business Inclusion Manager. I am a non-voting member.
Thank you, Angelica. Next, I have Carl.
I'm Carl Alguire. I'm a city appointee and I'm a voting member.
Very good. Thank you, Carl. Next is Francia. Francia.
Francia.
Good
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm the City of Asheville Business Inclusion Coordinator, and I am a non-voting member.
Very good thing. I'm glad to have you with us. Frank, you're next.
Good morning. I'm Frank Mcgowan. I'm the Financial and Strategic Services Manager with the city's finance department. I'm a city employee. City appointee. I am also an employee, city appointee, and voting member. Very
good. And I'm realizing now that Google Meets aligns this by alphabetical first names. That's the order we're going in. Next on my list is Karen.
Hi, I'm Karen Omansky, and I'm with Self-Help, and I'm a non-voting member.
Thank you, Karen. Good to see you. Next is Kelly.
Good morning. I'm Kelly Foster from Mountain BizWorks and Risk Asset Manager, and I'm a non-voting member.
Good to have you with us, Kelly. Next is Maui.
Hi, everyone. I am Maui Vang. I'm a county appointee, and I am a voting member.
Good to have you with us. Next is Nikki.
Good morning. My name is Nikki Reed. I'm the Director of Community and Economic Development for the City of Asheville. I am a voting member.
Very good. Thank you. Rachel.
Morning, everyone. Rachel Nygaard here, representing Buncombe County government as a appointee and employee and voting member.
Very good. Glad to have you with us. Next is Ricardo.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ricardo Surto. I am a communication specialist at the City of Asheville, and I'm a not voting member.
All right. Good morning. Good to have you with us, Ricardo. Next is Tara.
Hi, I'm Tara Brown. I'm with Self-Help, and I'm not a voting member.
Very good. Next is Yasleen.
I'm a small business lender with Mountain BizWorks, and I'm a non-voting member.
Very good. Thank you. And Dee Williams, so good to see you this morning. If you could, please introduce yourself if you're a city or county appointee and if you are a voting member.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Dee Williams. I am a city appointee, and I'm a voting member.
Very good. It's great to have you with us. So we have a pretty light agenda. The first item is to review and approve last month's minutes. If you don't have those handy, I'm going to throw those in the chat right now as well as a link. And as typical with this agenda item, we need somebody to motion to approve and a second, and then we will vote on approving the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Carl motions to approve. Any seconds?
Second.
Second from Frank. Very good. Rachel, I assume you got the note taking, minute taking.
All over it.
The best. To say the best in the game. So with that, I will entertain, I guess, a vote. So voting members, if you could say aye or raise your hand to approve the motion? I see hands up. Everyone's hands are up. I also vote to approve, and I believe that makes us unanimous for voting members. Any opposed? No. Okay, very good. Next on the agenda is a quick update. I put nothing in old business, just given where we were last month, looking at kind of with the new influx of cash. There were no loans to present. We reviewed the quarterly report. There was no carryover to this month. So the two things we'll talk about today are city recommendations to expand funding to the MCCF. There's a quick update for you all on that. And then the proposed changes to the operating committee rules of procedure, which I'll have a document to share with you all for that. So first thing is at the April 25th council meeting, I believe staff presented 17 projects in ARPA funding to support. One of those 17 being an additional, I think 1 million and change in funding that will go to Mountain BizWorks, and 1 million of that is directly earmarked for funding the MCCF. Like last month with the county, there's a bit of a flow through we have to do to make it comply with federal regulations. So with that, I want to read part of a note I got from Matt Raker from Mountain BizWorks. City Council is slated to make the final approval at their May 10th meeting. So it was recommended last council meeting. At this upcoming one is when the vote will happen. We are welcome to extend this invitation to join Mountain BizWorks and some friends. All MCCF members are invited to the meeting to hopefully, see the vote be approved. The meeting will be starts at 5 p.m. at the Heritage Cherokee Center Banquet Hall, we think. And it looks like this agenda item will be in the latter part of the meeting. I plan on attending. Everyone, of course, is welcome to attend. If this is approved, that's going to take our fund to 3.05 million, up from 450,000 where we were last year. So that's a pretty great, I think it's 6.7 times growth of the fund in just about a year, which is phenomenal. Again, that's at Heritage Cherokee Center, the old Civic Center, U.S. Cellular Center. However long you've been here, you know it by a different name. It's the building downtown. You know it, you've seen it. Hope to see you there. City folks, Nikki or Frank, any other commentary to add to what to expect at the meeting or any other thoughts to share?
No, I will certainly be there. So looking forward to seeing you all.
But you won't be sitting with us. You'll be, I imagine, on a dais perhaps.
No, I sit in the audience
Oh, yeah?
too.
Okay.
So as a staff resource.
Very good. Okay, then we'll see you there. Again, that's open to everybody. Questions, comments, anything else on that agenda item? Very
Jeff,
simple.
can you restate the amount? I missed that at the beginning.
I'll tell you the exact amount if it's in if I can pull up the application. Unless Yaslin, unless by any chance you know it offhand. Excuse me. Maybe it's like 1.1 million or 1.2 million. But 1 million is directly to the loan guarantee pool. Is that right, Yaslin?
It sounds right, but I need to go back and just double check everything. I don't know the exact amount.
I'm pulling it up right now. 1.293 million for MCCF fund expansion. And I think 1 or maybe 1.1 of that comes to MCCF. I know the end result is that the fund will be at 3.05 million. And I got there from this article, which I will share in case anyone else is curious about what else the city is recommending to fund.
And I'll just chime in. This is Rachel from a Buncombe County perspective. We also, as you recall, made an award of COVID recovery funding from ARPA to this project, and have had the all of the logistics of how to structure the funding worked out. And we do meet regularly with the staff who work on that project on the City of Asheville side. So we will hopefully be able to make that contracting process smooth and quick, since we already have a template to follow.
Very good. Thank you to our partners. It's an absolute model of collaboration that we hope to see more of. You know, as we like to say, all birds fly south for winter, but the ones who fly in formation get there faster and look better doing it. And so I want to thank our city and county partners for flying in formation. If there's Frank, we got to hang out sometime. It's just nonstop. If there's any other comments, let's hear those now. Otherwise, we're going to jump to our next item, which is to review a proposed change to the credit underwriting committee. Any other comments on next week's council meeting? And there's no need for us to go to public comment or anything. This is going to be presented as a vote, right? We want to okay, great. So I'm getting up and get two documents together here. Put this right there for now. Excuse me, guys. I was telling Angelica, it's the pollen. I took a COVID test. It's just a dang pollen. That's why I sound this way and why I look this way. I want a window. I want to open up this document. Okay. So we're going to review now a proposed change to, I'm going to turn my camera off. I'm getting lag. A proposed change to the credit underwriting committee. We've discussed this a few times over, the past few years, of the purpose of having a credit underwriting committee. We've agreed in mindset, at least, that it's been ineffective for our group to host a credit underwriting committee, given that it consists of 5 appointees. Can I zoom in? Yes. The committee consists of essentially all but one appointee. And it felt that we were a small enough group that we have been operating without a credit underwriting committee and improving the loans of a certain threshold as a group in public. And so we've discussed, should we just drop the credit underwriting committee and function as we have been? So to that, I'm going to now share a different screen of a proposed change to that body of text for your review. I've tried to make it as simple as possible. I'm just changing over. Let me know when you see my Word document. You should see it now.
Can you zoom in, Jeff?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I can go bigger. How are we doing here? How's that? Made a really simple change. So I believe
Looks good.
I'm trying to make the change as simple and as minimal as possible to still fulfill the purpose of our group. And I'm using the track changes function here in Word, so you can see the original text, what I propose to strike and replace. So I'm proposing to change the sentence. It's really just one sentence. The committee shall designate and appoint 5 members to a credit underwriting committee, one of which shall be representative of the member of the city of Asheville, one of which shall be a representative member of the Buncombe County, to just, the committee shall also function as a credit underwriting committee, period. That's the only change to the section of the credit underwriting committee. That's what I'm proposing, and I know there's gonna be some discussion here. Hands are going up. Maui, yours is first. Please, the floor is yours.
Okay, so just quick clarifying question. So as it reads, it sounds to me like because the committee will essentially be the credit underwriting committee, and participating lenders can't be a part of the credit underwriting committee, does that preclude them from also being on the committee? And would that ever be a scenario that we would have problems with?
I don't believe it would be a problem because the credit underwriting committee are the ones who approve chargebacks and who approve loans over a certain threshold. So it just says that our participating lenders are not eligible for a vote, which they currently aren't anyways as non-voting members.
Got it. Thank you.
Karen?
Yeah, I just am wondering if rather than making this change complete, to give more flexibility, should it say that you may designate and create a committee, or you may serve as the credit underwriting committee? And that way, if in the future there's a reason that you decide to change, then you have the option without having to go back to this. Because I don't know if there ever may come a time when people decide they want a credit writing committee, or if there may be things that you decide that you really need to discuss in a particular loan that would, for privacy reasons, wouldn't want in the public committee. So anyway, I think just giving more options, saying nay would be better.
That's a great comment. So I want to clarify if I heard you right. Essentially, the change would change this shall to may, and then you would leave the remaining sentence as is. Or do you keep the changes where the committee may also function as a credit underwriting committee?
I think I'd keep that too.
What do you mean keep that? The original sentence or the new sentence? And then change
The new that
sentence.
the committee may designate or may function as the credit underwriting committee.
Thank you. So I want to make sure I heard you accurately. D, you have a hand raised.
Yes, just a question and then a comment too. There's been, some of you folks are new. I've been around for a minute. Some of us have. And at some points, the credit underwriting committee, when we function, we kind of functioned as a group that Jeff talked about all together because we are a small group. But let me say this, the power to review is awesome because we've had one that looks like we're going to have to come in and provide a loan loss coverage for. And I would have wanted to know what was going on simply because that was a refinance, I do believe, which incited my curiosity when the loan happened. And so I would have wanted the power or the opportunity to review to stop that loss from happening. And I know that, nobody can be omniscient and all of the other stuff and omnipotent, but certainly thought and just having some capability, it is an asset. So I think at times, and we're not a rubber stamp board. Let me say that to you as well. I do not believe we were created to be such. These are taxpayer dollars that are being infused. And of course, somebody has to provide oversight. So I would say to you that at times, such an entity as a credit underwriting committee is a necessary evil. Thanks a lot.
That's a great point, D. And again, I think I mentioned it last month of how impressed I was of your foresight into the refinance and how that could be a red flag. And I think you called that from a mile away. So I want to share my intention with this is not to remove the subcommittee, but to move the onus and responsibility onto the broader committee. I still think that responsibility, as you said, the power is awesome and important and should not be removed. And I want to make sure that the change would not remove that responsibility. It would just remove the designation of 5 members onto all of the appointees and voting members. That's my intention, at least. Rachel.
Thanks, Jeff, for suggesting that edit, and Karen for the other option for the edit. I would be in support of either one. As all described, this function is critical and happening, and not within a separate group because we have such a small number of voting members. So I would vote to support the change. Before we make the edit, I wonder if it would be helpful to think about other additional pending edits to this document. And in order to talk about that, we could give a little background. Karen might be a good person to do so. There was a next step that came out of last month's meeting for a subset of this group to convene and review what is the name of the other document? Not the operating.
Services and duties agreement.
Thank you.
Edited that
Services and duties agreement. And one of the approaches that we took in that conversation was, let's leave the procedural stuff out of the services and duties agreement, because it's really the policy level document that our organizations officially sign. It's signed, it goes in front of council, city council, and it goes in front of county commission, and move some of those more truly operational elements into the operational agreement. As a result, we may have some changes that we're suggesting to this document within the next couple of months. Do you want to add to that, Karen?
No, that covers it. It just came about, as we're getting new funds and looking at the old services and duties agreement, being able to modify that so that we can incorporate those new funds. And as Rachel said, realizing that we don't want to have to go back to that document every time we get new funding. So pulling some of those procedure things out and putting them into other documents.
So is there a suggestion of an action item that at a future meeting we'll review all these changes or proposed changes?
I wonder, I wasn't necessarily set on that when I started sharing, but wonder if we are going to be coming in with edits to this document. Do we want to do it in a more comprehensive way? Sorry about that. Dee's got her hand up.
Yeah, I was going to say, let me move to Dee Williams and hear her comments.
Thank you. I do apologize for not muting my microphone. I'm in a car and I'm parked on somebody's parking lot. I'm on the road. Unfortunately, on Friday, I usually am. I guess I'm listening to a lot of this. I'm unfamiliar with some of the members on the committee, and since I'm not stable. Karen, can you refresh me? Which entity do you represent? I'm sorry.
I'm with self-help.
Okay. All right. And so I guess the only comment that I've got is that whatever documents, are suggested changes, that they be sent out ahead of the meeting so that we can kind of review and won't be so cold going in to it. That would be the only thing that I would suggest. Thank you.
Great point.
Yeah, when we get to that point, we definitely will share those in advance. Yeah.
Thank you, Dee. Well, let me bring it back to the first part of this conversation. I'm thinking out loud here. I shouldn't think out loud as a chair. It's a rookie mistake. Instead, let me thank you, Dee, for laughing. I would like to come to some type of action item regarding the lenders in the county, as Karen and Rachel were discussing, of a host of changes. Do you want to set that for our June or July meeting? Would you like more time to prepare? What's the way to button this part of the agenda or this issue up?
I would like to say June, but I don't know if that will be realistic, just because we're working to make suggested changes with our legal team, because it's related to the funding that's coming in too. And then I just don't know if that gives enough time just to make the suggested changes to share with everyone in advance of the June meeting, to give everyone enough time to review before the June meeting. So it might be a July agenda, I think.
Maui, you have a hand up?
Yes, just to weigh in with a little bit of perspective. So since there are going to be some potential changes, I would actually probably prefer to address this portion now or sooner, because when there are a lot of changes, I think, especially for us who are not immersed in the work, we kind of forget like some of these conversations. And so, you know, maybe we may be more focused on those new changes at that point instead of this one. And so I was just wondering if there's any drawbacks or disadvantages to us voting on this part of the changes sooner and reserving another vote for down the line for the new changes.
Thank you, Maui. Any comment anyone have on advantages or disadvantages of taking a one-time piecemeal approach to this change and then in July reviewing a host of changes? Carl?
We did have a motion to change shall to may, and then the other discussion expanded. Can we vote on that change?
I believe so. I don't feel like I'm the best parliamentarian here. If anyone else, I do look to the wisdom of this group to help me out with that one, but I believe so.
I'd be okay. Procedurally, we're fine as long as there's an official holder of the document. I assume that's probably city staff, and we can just version or date which one it is. I do want to reflect that your comment was about seeing changes in writing ahead of time. So I don't know if that means you're not fully comfortable with the vote on this agenda.
I am, gosh, I guess I raised my hand.
You're good to go.
Thank you. I am comfortable with this vote, particularly the way that Jeff espoused it or presented it, such that the committee and et cetera itself is of the right or adequate size to do so. Just a change going forward, because I have some specific asks and questions of the responsibilities from a 5,000 square foot level, or some of the participants or organizations, such as the responsibilities of the lenders. Are all lenders going to lend, or just some? We've only had one lender, which has been Mountain Biz Cap. And the other lenders pretty much have not had much activity or any activity. So those roles even need to be redefined, as it were, if we're going to put out a policy document. I'm comfortable with this vote today, but going forward, such specific issues such as that need to be pretty much specific and specified. If they aren't going to participate as lenders, and moreover, as the keepers of the purse, or the from a bureaucratic standpoint, we need to know that. But today I'm satisfied. I'm good. It's just going forward, some of those changes like that. Thank you much.
Yeah, thank you, Dee. Great points. I also, we don't have a vote. There's no loans to present today. So if the committee wanted to push this to next month, it's no harm, no foul. It's not going to change anything. There's no votes, no loans. It doesn't seem like there's any other discussion. And so I believe Carl is the one who pointed out we did have a motion to approve. I don't believe there's any objections. Who made that motion? Was that, who was it? Wasn't Frank, was it? No, is it Rachel? Nikki, please.
I just have a quick question. Were we going to revise the text in accordance with some of the changes Karen suggested? So the committee may designate, there we go, and may also function as
So
a
this
credit
part
underwriting
was struck,
committee.
and the new sentence will read, the committee may also function as a credit underwriting committee,
Okay.
period. Then members representing any participating lenders shall be eligible for membership.
So that looks good to everyone. I'm happy to make the first motion with this new text, but I see Karen has her hand up, so I'll hold off.
Yes, Karen?
Yeah, my just question is if you, and I don't remember, I'm sorry, in the rest of the document, if it says somewhere that there needs to be a credit underwriting committee. And so if this is then just saying that the committee may function as that credit underwriting committee, if it doesn't say that somewhere else in the document, I think we need something that says here that there needs to be a credit underwriting committee. So I don't know if that's somewhere else in the document.
That's a great comment. I found one more spot where it's mentioned. I'll show that now. So in Article 4, General Powers, the committee shall govern and monitor the fund in accordance with these rules of procedure and the allocation of service and dues agreement, duties and general powers. Other committees shall include the following. A, form and appoint members to the credit underwriting subcommittee as defined herein. That shouldn't trip us up in a circular logic or anything, right? We're okay?
Jeff, this is Rachel. The document you had prior had language below the markup where it was referring to the CUC regularly. Loans of 70,000 or more go to the CUC. And to Karen's point, if there is not a CUC, what happens? I think I would be more comfortable looking at a markup of the document before voting.
I agree.
Okay, very good. And again, like I said, there's no votes on loans today, no harm, no foul. So I will send the version of the Word document I have out to the committee for review. I'm sorry, did I see a hand up? Tara, yes?
Thank you. This may have gotten covered already, but I know we had also talked about making some edits to the duties and services agreement, and I'm not sure if we had a Word version of that. That was a question from self-help because we were going to take the first round of edits to that. So I don't know if that's still something we need, Karen, but I just wanted to put that out there.
No, we have that.
Okay, never mind. So thank you.
Okay. Well, then it seems like with no vote, and I have action items to get you all a marked up version of the credit underwriting committee section. Any other business on this topic? Okay, and that's our last agenda item today. Again, quick meeting. Is there any public comment? If so, you'll have 3 minutes. D, yes.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I just wanted to say that I think you're doing a great job, and just wanted to let you know that I'm always on the road and moving around and just, all kinds of crazy when we have a meeting. But I did just want to say that and just thank you for just, all the work and stuff you put in to try to help our community. And so just wanted to say that. And that's it.
I second that. Good job.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Rachel. I appreciate everyone. It's an absolute honor to serve in this committee with you all. It really, I mean, this is, I can't think of anything with more impact than MCCF. It's phenomenal.
Yes, Jeff, thank you very much for your service to our community, and just wanted to let you know we don't have any public comment.
Okay, then with that, I guess we can adjourn. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers on the call or anyone who identifies as a mother. And I hope to see you all on Tuesday at the city council meeting where we will hopefully see this vote approved and to receive $1 million for our fund. Okay. See you all soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Take care.